Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. You are watching SOS, where I am saving your sex lives one bedroom at a time. Today, I am joined by the one and only Mr. Willie Hines, my husband, my boo thing, my boyfriend. Thank you.
Hey man, thank you for having me. Um, this is an awesome occasion, being invited to the show as I make appearances every now and again.
Mhm.
But just thank you for having me, and that's it.
Well, I thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love it when we get to work together. It's always fun. So, I don't know if those of you who are watching today, if you actually were paying attention last month, we celebrated a holiday, literally the entire month, and it was Mother's Day. Well, guess what? I think Mother's Day should be year round, but that's just me. That's just me. But since we have transitioned into the month of June, there is another holiday that is on the horizon that is soon to arrive. And so I am equal opportunity. I am fair. Okay. I believe in celebrating moms and dads. And so for the entire month of June, I just want to say happy Father's Day to all of those fathers out there. Just know that LaKeesha Hines and Couples Academy respects, appreciates, loves each and every one of you who are showing up every single day for your families, for your children,
Hmm.
and we appreciate you. So we will be celebrating you the entire month of June. So get your mind right, okay? Because the same way we celebrated the moms, we're going to celebrate the dads too. And dads always talk about how you get short end of the
Yeah,
stick.
yeah. I'll say this. Everybody starts thinking about Mother's Day on January 1st. Father's Day, we get a little appreciation, and everybody starts working on that Sunday morning.
Wait,
To
not the Sunday morning,
the
not
sun
even the Friday.
That's at best is Saturday. At best is Saturday afternoon. But Sunday morning is where we really start hearing some rumblings that, oh, today is Father's Day. So thank you for taking care of our dads for the entire month.
You're welcome. You're such an awesome dad. You're such a great dad. So definitely I will do my best to celebrate you the entire month of June, but I want to celebrate all you other dads out there
Yes,
too.
indeed.
But today, that's not what this is about. Today we are talking about spouses who do not talk. And I'm just going to preface this by saying last month, the topic was help, my spouse only wants me for sex. And I was definitely targeting the ladies and saying that the ladies often feel as if the husbands only want them for sex or primarily want them for sex, right? So, just so you know, I'm targeting now the fellas.
Hmm.
And I'm saying that the fellas say that they are often accused of not communicating, of not talking. But I am here to say that something that I have learned in my years of experience and working with couples is that men do talk. The question is, ladies, are
Are
you
you
listening?
listening?
Are you listening? That is the question. They are talking, they are speaking, but are you listening? So that is what I will be asking you every single week. Are you listening? So for those of you who are right now listening and watching, let me know where you're streaming from so I can shout you out. But I want to jump into our topic again for today. And one of the things that I did last month also was I had a foundational scripture, and so I'm going to share that with you all right now. That scripture is Ephesians chapter 4, verses 26 through 27. And it says, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil. What are we talking about? We literally are talking about the fact that there are many times in relationships we have these unresolved issues, right? And we don't resolve these issues and we end up literally going to bed mad. Now, this is literally talking about a day, but this is something that can go on for days,
Yep.
weeks, months, years, even, that we haven't resolved these issues. And when we do not resolve these issues, it can turn into bitterness and also a lack of forgiveness, right? That literally lingers below the surface. And when there's this unforgiveness, that can turn into bitterness, which then turns into a disconnect. And so that then impacts the level of sex, the type of quality of sex, the frequency of sex, the desire for sex. All of that is impacted when there's unforgiveness and bitterness because there's a lack of connection. So we have to deal with these undealt hurts and pains and make sure that we're dealing with these issues so that we make sure we're keeping everything spicy and everything going in the bedroom. So I see, hello, Casman and Darren and Kalinda. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Casman, you're in Florida. What part of Florida? We're in Florida too. You have to let us know. So Darren, I love your comment when you say something I'm dealing with now. This is key. Well, you know what? You were exactly supposed to be here today, Mr. Darren.
So I'll interject, and my wife has a psychology background, and I know this show is SOS, saving our sex lives. So but going back to that scripture, as far as do not let the sun go down on your bitterness or your, the challenge that you're having. I need for the women out there to know that we take this scripture literally. In speaking about sex, we know if there's a problem during the day, it's going to be hard for us to be intimate. We know that.
Why?
And yeah, because there's some type of disconnect. You're not in the mood or whatever that may be.
Okay.
To be completely honest, at times, you guys feel that we don't care. We care. We just want to get it handled, taken care of. 1, so that we're in a good place. 2, so we can have sex. So just want to be very direct and honest with that. The sole reason is not for us to have sex. When we are in love and we truly love you, we want this issue resolved. And if we're in a situation where we need to table it for a moment so that we can have cooler heads or whatever that issue is, that's fine. But let's go ahead and take care of it, because we don't want that hidden bitterness, because that causes disconnect. And we are sexual beings. Not to say that women are not, but we are definitely sexual beings. So that going to bed without having that thing resolved or wanting to resolve it quickly, it's not about us or going to bed. Let me say this: going to bed without dealing with it is going to cause a lot more disconnect. Okay. And it's not a situation where we don't care. That's not the situation.
Well, I mean, we dealt with that for a really long time, right? Early on in our marriage, feeling as if I felt that you didn't care, you weren't concerned.
It's called "You Are a Robot." That's what that means.
Okay, so I was going there. But what I discovered is that now at that time, I didn't know that this was the case. I just knew that you and I processed things differently. And I knew that I was more emotional than you for sure. But now, since I've been educated about Enneagrams, I understand that you're a 5, and 5s, oh my gosh, trying to get some emotions out of a 5 is extremely difficult. So, learning that now, it just makes so much sense. And I used to say, yes, are you a robot? Because you didn't express your emotions the way that I did, right? So I was looking for an expression of emotions the way that I express. And what I realized is that, no, he does have emotions. He just expresses them differently from what I do.
Back to, we talk, but are you listening?
Yeah. Well, I was listening, but I didn't hear you.
Tomato.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. And I'm saying I was listening, but I couldn't hear you.
Understood.
Yeah. So, but now I hear you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you have a lot to say. So this is what we're going to do, right? We're going to be talking about some of the most common complaints that husbands have. And so, wives, ladies, partners, female partners, I'm challenging you to listen and also to search and seek yourself, right? And ask yourself, have I been guilty of this particular thing, right? Is this something that I need to work on? Is this something that my husband said and I missed it? Like I wasn't listening, whatever the case may be. So I want you to be thinking, okay, as we're going through these top 10 complaints. All right. So the first one, you go ahead.
I hate that my wife pays more attention to the kids, more to the kids than me. All I want is some cuddle time at night, but instead I get bad attitude from her.
Okay. So this husband is saying, this, mind you, just because he read it, this is not my husband. And Aaron Adams, absolutely. I always take questions live. I love when you all ask me questions. So please feel free to do so, because now you got me and him. You know what I'm saying?
And Darren,
It's a twofer.
Darren says his wife is a 5. Oh
Oh,
man.
Darren.
Well,
Oh my God. I'm praying for you, my brother, that your wife is a 5, my brother. All right. So now what this husband was saying is that basically he is lacking attention from his wife. He wants more attention, but she's focused on taking care of the children, right? That's what her primary focus is. Those are her goals. That's her priority. And the husband is feeling neglected. He's saying, I just want some cuddle time at night. But instead of that, I'm getting a bad attitude. What I love about this comment from this particular husband is that he didn't ask for sex. He didn't ask for sex. Now we know cuddling can most certainly lead to sex, but that's not what he said he was seeking. He said, I just want some cuddle time, but instead I have a bad attitude. I get a bad attitude from my wife. So again, there are many times where husbands are speaking, but we're not listening, or like it was in my situation, I didn't hear him. And so I imagine this wife probably heard, yeah, you saying you want some cuddle time, but really you just want some sex. And I'm tired. I'm dealing with these kids. And you see what I'm saying? And so that needed to be a conversation where he goes to his wife and says, listen, how can I get cuddle time with you at night? Because that's really what I want. And then it's up to her to say, if this is what she needs, can you help me out with the kids so that I can get them down earlier so I'm not so exhausted, and then I can make that time for you. But whether she's tired or exhausted or not, we have to make our spouse's priority. We have to make that one-on-one time priority. Just so you know, we'll give you some context. How many children do we have?
4.
4.
One with special needs.
One with special needs.
Yeah.
And trying to make time for each other was extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. But go ahead.
So I'll interject here. In that particular statement, he definitely said cuddle, and maybe that's just a nice way of putting it. We do want cuddle time sometimes, but we want other things at other times. And maybe that's just being nice to say, I need something else that you have, and I want that and need that. You are going, and I think you're headed towards the other thing that was being said by the gentleman when it says you're more focused on the kids. Basically, what that gentleman is saying is, I am not your priority. And when we talk about from a spiritual standpoint, is God, then it's your spouse. So these kids, let's figure out a way to handle these kids, because when they all gone out the house, it's just gonna be you and I.
That's it.
So let's get this thing together right now. So I understand, again, it comes to we speak, but are you really hearing us and understanding what we say? And we need some time to be very direct and say, listen, man, you're putting a few things, whether it's the kids, other things that are frustrating you. And now I have to take all that in because you're coming to work frustrated. And now I'm looking at you trying to figure out, hey, do I touch her? Do I cuddle with her? Did I do something wrong? When I shouldn't have those thoughts or feelings. My wife comes to the room. That's our sanctuary. Whatever goes down once you get in there, that's what goes down.
Which is why we got to kick those kids out the bed too.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well,
that's a side note.
That ain't our story.
So. No, it's not. Right. I mean, they were in the bed at one point, but then it's like that was for a season. And then you need to transition to your bed because, as you said, that's our sanctuary and that is our time together. Sheree Miller, yes, you may ask questions. Okay. So again, what is he saying? He's saying, I need more attention. I want more physical touch, because that's cuddle, right? And if that leads to sex, it leads to sex or whatever. And the third thing he's saying is, I'm not your priority.
Yep.
Right? Oh, 4 things. You need to check your attitude, because you are coming to bed with this attitude. And I don't know why you have an attitude. And all those questions that you ask, he's confused.
Yep.
Is it me? Is it the kids? Is it you just? I don't know. So there has to be conversation surrounding that so that he's clear on what it is that you need in order for him to get what he needs. Right? So it's a conversation. All right. So listen, we're going to take a quick break, give you an opportunity to compose any questions that you feel like you might want to ask us today. Don't swipe left, don't swipe right, don't go anywhere, okay? We will be right back. You're watching SOS.
Welcome to the Couples Academy app. The Couples Academy app is your go-to hub for how to do marriage right. Get started with our app today by perusing our amazing features that conveniently allow you to connect. This app is packed with powerful content and resources to help you grow and stay connected. With this app, you can watch our messages, find marriage resources, watch, listen, and read the real-life stories of restored couples, sign up for events, read articles and blog posts, stay up to date with push notifications, share your favorite messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email, and download messages for offline listening. For more information about the Couples Academy app, go to couplesacademy.org.
What is the best gift or investment for a newly engaged couple?
What do couples really need? Proactive, transparent synergy. They need to synthesize a 12-week premarital group counseling experience that combines the mind, heart, mission, and vision for an effective future.
No matter the age or life experience, this research-based curriculum will help to increase marriage resilience by 30%. Why choose Synthesize for premarital counseling? 1, to better understand yourself and your partner and to audit your past and present condition in order to be a proactive couple.
2, to engage in crucial conversations about finances, communication, sex, and intimacy, to be fully and completely transparent.
3, to develop a unified vision and mission in order to embody high levels of synergy.
Give the gift that builds proactive, transparent synergy. Synthesize.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're watching SOS. My name is LaKeesha Hines. And if you just joined us, I have with me my wonderful husband, Willie Hines. And he is joining us because we are celebrating the men literally all month long. But you want to share something?
Hey, Darren, not to call you out, but we said a quick prayer for you because as you stated, the wife is a 5 and I'm a 5, a recovering 5. And my wife has let me know the challenges with dealing with a 5. So we just said a quick prayer for you and the missus on our break, man, just to help you out, man.
I feel you, my brother. I really do. So Darren actually did end up having a question, and it is, how do I convince my wife that the intimacy that I seek from her isn't sex and that I really want a solid and secure connection? Whenever I ask for time, she assumes it's sex. But I believe sex is the bonus to the time spent connecting. So being connected will create that without asking. How do I get her to understand that? Oh, he said, thanks. He appreciate the prayer. You're welcome, my brother. So Darren, that is a great, great question. And also I will tell you, you are not alone in this. I have heard this so many times, heard this story so many times. And, hopefully your wife will watch the series that I did last month, because that's what it was all about. When a woman feels as if her husband only wants her for sex. So there are certain things that I think can be done to shift that thinking. Some of it's on you, but some of it's on her, because if you are showing up the right way and you are giving her the things that she needs and you're consistent with that, then there has to be a shifting in her mindset. Was it that way at one point? Did you only want sex at one point? Like you were hyper focused on that at one point and she's still stuck back there. You're not that way anymore. You don't think that way anymore, but she could still be treating you as if you are. So there are times where, again, it's on the individual to shift their thinking, because just because something looks one way, sounds one way, doesn't necessarily mean that it is that way. So I would ask her, what is it that you're saying or doing that leads her to believe that that's all you want?
Great points. The only thing I want to add is asking her that question. What ways do you want to connect? How can we connect with each other? What are some different ways you want to connect? Because I want to assure you that I am I stimulated by you? Absolutely. But that's not the only thing on my mind. I want to spend some time with you. So what ways can we come up with together, and or you come up with, as in the missus, that we can do? Because I want to show you, prove to you that it's not just about that. While I'm extremely attracted to you, I love you, I'm emotional about you, but I want to make sure you know that it's a safe place for us to connect, and you don't have to feel that I only want you for sex.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys be a team in regards to that process.
Yeah, I mean, we experienced that too, where I felt in one season that that's all you wanted. But again, that attraction is there. And what, I learned over time is that men are extremely visual. Men are visual. So in terms of arousal and stimulation, I mean, it literally goes from here directly to their penis. And when I say here, I'm talking about their eyes. She walks by naked. She just getting out the shower. She laying in the bed a certain type of way. She's wearing a certain pair of jeans that you like, or that dress that you like, or whatever. You see her getting dressed for work in the morning and you get stimulated. And or maybe you're thinking about the last encounter that you had and you're turned on by her. And so again, it doesn't take much for you all. So you're visually stimulated. But for women, it's more than that. It's here, then down there, right? Which is, we need to be stimulated mentally. We need to be stimulated emotionally. He said all of that. Yeah. Okay. So, for us, we need to be stimulated in multiple realms before we get there to the physical piece. And so I think what will be really important for you, again, is to be able to identify what makes her feel that that's all you want, and start there. Start there with trying to reassure her that that's not the case verbally, but then also proving that with your actions. Now, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but sometimes you need to do a sex fast. Sometimes you do, because that way you're proving to her that I'm here with you no matter what. I love you no matter what. Like, this isn't all about sex. I want sex. I enjoy sex. It feels good. But that's not all I'm here for. That's not what I want all the time. So sometimes you do have to show that, prove that through your actions, and your words and your actions need to align.
Additionally, historically, men want sex about every three or so days. So help her understand that. I'm not abnormal for having this desire for you, but that's not the only thing that makes me a man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I see you follow up with, she puts on that for no reason at all. I have no say so. So I don't know if you mean that she has no proof or whatever for why she feels that way. I don't know if that's what you mean by that. And if that is what you mean, there, it has to come from someplace, right? So she's got to dig a little bit deeper to identify where that's coming from. Okay. Okay. She withholds for weeks at a time. So again, that's a conversation. And what you all may need to do, honestly, is book a session so that we can explore this together. So I can get her perspective, get your perspective, and get you guys back on the same page. And sometimes that's all you need, is to just have a neutral party come in and to be able to break things down in a way that you both can understand, because you have your perspective, she's got her perspective, you're both in your separate corners and nobody's hearing the other person. And so sometimes you just need a third party to come in and to be able to get you back into alignment with, get you back on the same page. So maybe you need to do, yes, with me. Yes, of course. Make a discovery call, sir. Make a discovery call. So I want to get to some of these other questions. Let's see. Aaron says, my wife and I have issues communicating. Her first move is to leave if I disagree with something. So I stay silent most of the time. I'd rather take the bullet then go back and forth. Man, Aaron, that's a hard one. You got a runner, right? And there are some personality styles that are runners. A lot of times it's the 9s, because they avoid any type of conflict. They want to keep the peace. It could be a situation where that's what she was taught growing up, meaning that's what she saw growing up. So that's her response. She hasn't been taught how to appropriately deal with the conflict. And so that's something that has to be learned. That's something that she will have to figure out how to do, because when she runs, that can create feelings of abandonment within you, and then leave you feeling as if you're not teammates, and it's now just party of one instead of party of two, which we're supposed to be a team and work these issues out together. So
and interjecting, I would say, Aaron, we've had issues communicating. From a spiritual standpoint, I would recommend praying prior to very important conversations. It's extremely difficult to fight somebody who you're praying with and praying for. It doesn't have to be, there's no perfect prayer or anything. You just want to make sure the words that I'm sharing are being received the appropriate way. But I would highly recommend things of that nature. Just pray, make sure there aren't any distractions, because it's extremely hard to fight somebody you're praying with. And let them know, I'm here. We're going to disagree. We may not like it, but we're here to get through this thing together. And you definitely will come out on the other end together as well.
Yeah, again, nobody wants to feel as if they're all in this by themselves, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you're working together to resolve whatever the issues are. And you know, top 3 reasons couples, communication is one of the top 3 reasons why couples have conflict. So you're not the only one. I mean, all of the couples represented here today, I'm sure if I took a poll and I asked them, have you ever struggled with communication? Are you struggling with communication now? They will all raise their hand and say yes, because we definitely struggle with communication as well. All right, Sheree. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But you said infidelity on both ends, how to come back stronger than ever, even with so many thoughts about the bad. Both want to heal, but how without getting mad? Well, first of all, you're going to get mad. This is something to get mad about, right? Both of you are hurting, and both of you are dealing with hurt for different reasons. There's hurt on both sides. There's pain on both sides. And so how do you come back stronger than ever? You must go through an infidelity recovery process, and that's what we're here for. So you definitely need to reach out, make that phone call. The number is in the chat, 678-200-8996. You need to call that number, book a discovery call with Hassani, and let's get you guys some support, because I'm telling you, you cannot do this by yourself. It is a process. And if you do not follow this process, I promise you, you can get better for a time, but you will not be healed. You will feel better, and you may even start getting along better. But I promise you, it will not be a complete and total healing and transformation, which is what you need to sustain you for the duration of your marriage. So you need to call us. You need to book a discovery call with Hassani, and let's get you guys set up so you can start that journey toward healing and recovery. Okay. All right, so let's move to our next statement.
It really annoys me when my wife teases me before bed but doesn't follow through with it. She knows how easily frustrated I get.
Okay, I've been guilty. Not now. I don't tease no more. Like, or if I do tease, I follow through. Right?
Right.
Okay. Just I don't want the people to think I'm
my face is, man, this was a I mean, being completely transparent, this was a tough time in our relationship.
Yeah.
It almost, and again, my wife is the psychology person, all nice and sweet and everything, but felt like a stripper. You tease and you get nothing. Yeah, that's what it felt like for my wife. So those are some tough times, because we tease,
I was a stripper.
play,
I was a stripper too, though.
We play and we tease all day and all that stuff, and leads to nothing.
It left 2 Z's.
Left to, yeah. So that was tough. A tough portion of our relationship. I had to communicate that.
Yes.
And show, not necessarily disrespectful in a disrespectful way, but show her, hey, this is what this does to me, and can you see where I'm coming from?
Well, talk about that. What did it do for you?
It let me know that, or it made me feel like you play around. You just say things because it's the nice thing to do.
That I wasn't taking it seriously.
We'll be out in public and she doesn't feel like, oh, y'all get home. I'm like, it ain't gonna lead to nothing but me putting the kids in the bed and her asleep. Yeah. Some tough conversations during those times.
I'm so much better now.
Tough conversations. But it's very important to share that in a don't share it at night when you about to lay down and you're frustrated.
No.
Next day or so, hey, this is how this makes me feel.
And honestly, you know what? When you did, when you did share that with me, I felt horrible. Like I felt horrible because I didn't realize, how it was impacting him or affecting him. Truth be told, I didn't even realize that I was like teasing and not following through. And I know you're asking, LaKeesha, how in God's name did you not know? I really didn't, because when you are in parent mode, you're working, like taking care of a home, taking care of kids. We told you we have a child with special needs. Like it's just a lot going on. Like Hinesville, it's crazy up in here. Like, right? It's better now because the kids are older. But I will say this, once you did point it out to me and I realized how it was affecting you and impacting you, I'm like, oh no, I got to shift this. I have to change this. This isn't right. Because one, I wouldn't want you to do it to me. And two, because I love you and I care about you, I want to make sure that your needs are being met and that you're satisfied. We both should be getting our needs met. And so again, it was important for me to course correct because again, I understood exactly how that was impacting you.
Yeah.
So you all, we are go ahead.
And we pray about it. And we prayed
Yeah.
about it. And God said, hey, I won't make a light of this, but we had situations where we had to work from home due to some pandemic items.
Yeah.
Now we don't have to tease and wait till bedtime.
Yeah. Bedtime could be anytime.
Anytime.
So we are just scratching the surface for this topic. We are just scratching the surface. For those of you who said, man, how do we get over this? How do we overcome this? Make the call today. Call so you can get the support that you need. And make sure you let Hassani know it's because you were watching SOS. Okay. So he knows that the people out here in the streets are watching and they're listening and they're paying attention. But we will be back here same time next week. Maybe not him, but I will be back here same time next week. Make sure you have your face in a place. Please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you are telling your friends and family members about SOS and everything Couples Academy. But again, until we meet again, you all enjoy. Oh,
thank you for having me.
Thank you for being had. Thank you for being here. So again, you all enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on the other side. All right. Take care. Peace.